Hi everyone. The new studio was delivered on Monday. The lorry promptly drove straight onto the grass where they could see clearly other vehicles had been stuck, and they got stuck, but they did manage to get out, thankfully. That's all. That's some of it. The other stuff is in the trailer back. Unfortunately, we discovered when it arrived the concrete base was actually too small for it. So the builders had to come up yesterday and they've had to extend the base with concrete and brickwork rather than wood, because I was sort of concerned that, you know, sort of 10 years down the line that wood's going to rot and we'll be in trouble. You know, it's just, I don't know. I sort of wonder if the universe is trying to tell me something, because this has just been one sort of trial after another. I actually ordered some replacement Faber-Castell pencils and they all arrived smashed and completely unusable, all broken. And you know, I'm sort of at the stage now where I think, is the universe actually trying to tell me something? Because it's just a blinking nightmare. And I don't know that this will be put up next week, because it looks like it's going to be raining most of the week, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. You can tell spring is coming because these two are constantly on their travels. I've had to get them out of the field there a couple of times. And that's the second time today you've been up there making a racket. You're waiting for the postman, aren't you? They like the postman. I'm not sure he likes those two very much though. Hello. Unfortunately, I've got a little bit of a mutiny on my hands because we've run out of carrots. The ones that were in the shed have been, you know, because they got frozen in that, they started to go off, and I don't give them. Mum, sorry, I'm going to have to stand up because you're eating my hat. You were eating my hat. He's trying to butt me now. Yeah, so yeah, I don't give them poor quality food, so we'll have to wait for further supplies to arrive this afternoon. So they're not happy, because normally I give them carrots at lunchtime. Sorry. You are just being a horror. Be careful. He is full of it. He's absolutely full of it at the moment. What are you doing? Yeah, I was going to say when I started filming, he's actually been quite well behaved this week. I haven't seen him but Alphonse. You know, the sheep can really look after themselves, but I worry about Alphonse because he's quite a he's quite a sensitive individual. Merv, what are you doing, you little horror? Yeah, he's just full of it at the moment. He's just being a real scamp. Oh dear. Yes. I don't know what's got into him, but we've seen him a few times just running around like a complete blooming idiot, and then he's butting. A lot of this is, I don't like to say pecking order, because my experience, and I'm a great proponent, sorry, I've got sheep trying to get in my pocket, I'm trying to get away from Willow, because you nip a bit, missus, don't you, given half a chance. Yeah, I'm a great sort of believer in learning theory and those kind of things, and it's rarely that straightforward as a linear pecking order in my observation anyway, but they do all like to know sort of where their place is, particularly the younger ones. They sort of do this, and part of it I think is play, and part of it is sort of finding out where they sit within the flock. You are just being a horror. You know, because I'm such a big believer in learning theory, that is why my pockets are always filled with treats, because I've done a lot of clicker training with Star. Look, will you get down? And you can clicker train goats, believe it or not. I just haven't done anything with you. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh sorry, he's eating my sleeve now. Yeah, so that's why my pockets are always full of treats, because if Star does something good, because she was so heavily physically punished before I got her, punishment just doesn't sit with me anyway. I just don't think it's ever appropriate to physically punish animals, really, and it doesn't work either. So if she does things, I like to reward her for it, which is why why I smell of food all the time, and why these guys are always sort of in my pockets. And I do like to reward him for good behaviour. It's just we don't get a lot of chances for it, do we? No. I think Star's just glad she's got the sanity of her own bit of the field, haven't you? Yes, I know. You're just glad that you've got your own bit. Yeah, I know, because Merv is very naughty, isn't he? He's very naughty. We don't want to see teeth. We don't need to see the teeth in every video. You're wearing your mud pack, aren't you? You did have a piece of turf stuck in your mane. You've been rolling, haven't you? As soon as I took that rug off that she had on when it was cold, the first thing she does is come out and get absolutely filthy, don't you? She said, well, it's my beauty treatment, that's why I have it. But you just love a roll and get all crusty and muddy. This is typical of my day. Yes, you two, what are you doing? I was just cleaning out the ducks, and then I saw these two noodles heading off into open countryside again. They've got all of that to explore, so I need to get them back before they disappear off too far. I think the ducks are egging them on a little bit, but honestly they drive me mad, these two, because it's very, very hard to get across that kind of ploughed field at this time of year, and they basically make me look like an idiot. Right, come on. Right, come on. I've got to shepherd you back. You're very, very naughty. They're sort of still getting used to the new layout of the place, because your favourite trees are gone, haven't they? But they do, once they get to familiar bits, they do actually know where they're going. Go on. Go on. Come on. No, you are not going in with the gingers again. Come on. Come on. Go back in the garden. Because they will literally have me running round in circles if I'm not careful. Come on. Come on, you know where you're going. Come on. Oh dear. Right, come on. You naughty things. Right, well, the fugitives are now returned to the garden, however temporary that may be. I'm just keeping a bit of an eye on this chappie. I did say last week he'd suffered with his legs a little bit in the cold, because I think he's a bit arthritic. He's always had problems with his legs ever since I got him. One is weaker than the other, I think. And it's one of those things where I'm constantly monitoring him to see that he's happy, he's up, his tail's up, he's engaged, eating, out with the other birds, sort of interested in life, really. And that's all you can do, because they cannot tell you if they're in pain or if they're not getting sort of what they need and things are becoming difficult for them. And it's actually quite a difficult judgment call to have to make, and it really relies on me knowing them very well and spending a lot of time with them to ensure that, you know, they are getting the highest welfare standards that I can give them, really. But it, you know, it's never an easy decision to have to make. But I mean, he seems okay. He's getting about and he's with the other birds, so I just continue to sort of monitor him, really. I must apologise about Mother's Day cards. I did make them, but I thought Mother's Day was the end of the month, but that's actually Easter. It's just been a long week again because we had a broken down car to deal with. Laurie's getting stuck, and you know, it's just a flipping nightmare. I only really got up here to do any drawing yesterday in the whole week. I was away last weekend on a training course for a day. So yesterday I managed to finish off my tawny owl and start a long-eared owl. So it's just been, you know, I'm just so, don't even know which day of the week it is at the moment, so I do apologise. I will send cards, not Mother's Day ones obviously because I've missed it, but yes, I will sort of try and get a bit more organised. We've hired a cherry picker for the weekend just to top out the remaining furs because I don't want to be having a panic every time we get high winds again. Unfortunately, him indoors got stuck up it yesterday for half an hour because he was shouting for help and I didn't hear, and it was actually half an hour before the dog alerted me to the fact that something was going on, and I came out to investigate and he was stuck up there. I had to help him come down. So today I'm actually going to leave him up there for an hour, and then I think we'll be even Stevens for the fact that he's left me pinned down by Merv when Merv knocked me over, pinned me down and was eating my hat, and I was shouting for help and none arrived for quite a long time, so I think we'll be even. But thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you next time.